No sound. Oh, what's going on here? Wait a minute. Wait. Oh, I just got. Wait. Have you got sound? Can you hear me now? This. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Better. Good. What's going on? Oh, I'm all still plugged in. Morning, Sally. Morning, Anne-Marie. Yes, perfect. Oh, that's good. Every now and then that microphone goes funny. I don't know why. Maybe dust in it or something. How are you all this morning? Let me know where you are, how you are, what's happening in your world. 47th episode today. Very exciting. And as I said, this is the second last Facebook Live for the year because in exactly 2 weeks' time, we will be in Vancouver with as having Christmas with our children. So we're very excited chatting to them today. And it looks like it's going to be a mild Christmas, which will be wonderful. It's going to be, so our coats and boots will be just perfect. It's going to be 7 degrees in Vancouver today, and I think it was down to -3 last night. So that's all. We can cope with that. Can't not fussed about. Gold Coast Sally, yeah. It is a great sleep. I know, wasn't it? Oh, we had the window open last night, and it was just lovely. Gosh, doesn't it make a difference when it's just that little bit cooler? And I just actually started sleeping with a sleep mask because we'd moved to an apartment, and it never gets dark really. And I find I get really, really deep sleep. Does anybody else sleep with a sleep mask? I've never done it before, but friends of mine do, and I'm really enjoying it. Morning, Karen, Gold Coast. Yes. It's funny, isn't it? It was raining when I got up for my walk this morning, so I didn't go. No, don't need to do that. I needed a rest day anyway. Thank you for joining me today. It's, as I said, Power Pack Day. We are talking about, isn't it time to let go of your plan B? Let me know if you've got a plan B. You know you've got a plan B, and it's kind of holding you back. It's it's subconsciously sabotages your success. It actually holds you back. Just to make everything out of the way here. It actually holds you back from really stepping into that true success. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. What happens neurologically when you decide to let go of your plan B? What happens spiritually when you decide to let go of your plan B? And why it'll be the best thing you ever do. You know, plan Bs are great if you're 18 years old. Or Anne-Marie, as you have a son in the field of creativity in the arts, having a plan B is kind of essential because you never quite know when the next job's coming in. So there's always a good idea to have a plan B. But when you get older, and when you say past the age of 45 or 50, really you have to begin to ask, if I have a plan B, what's the purpose of it? What's it really there for? And plan B, what I call the soft fall. Okay, it's the soft fall. A plan B is when you kind of go, oh, well, if this doesn't work, I can always. Or some of the other words you might say, oh, I tried that for a while, but it really wasn't me. At my age, really, can you really be bothered doing all that again? Or if I'm going to risk my mortgage or any of those things. So there's the space in there called the soft fall. So plan B is the space that exists between what you say you want and what you believe you can have. I'll say that again. Your plan B is the soft fall between the space of what you say you want and what you believe you can have. Now, you all know what soft fall is, right? It's that stuff that they put on in playgrounds. So if the kids fall off the playgrounds, they won't hurt themselves. Our emotional soft fall is the space we create that can hold us if we fall. It's our safety net. It's the space we'll go back to. And I often think about this. I spent some time in India in 2009, 2010. We spent 6 weeks in India. I took a group of school kids, graduates, Year 12 graduates, to work from an NGO in Delhi, in the outside of New Delhi, and we worked for, as I said, an NGO. So the kids went in and they worked as teachers, so they were teaching English to the kids. My placement was on a construction site. It was actually the construction site for the site of the Commonwealth Games, badminton and swimming, I think. And so all these families had come in from outlying areas, and they were living on the construction site. And there was a daycare, and that's where we worked. Now, every morning, these parents would get up and go to work at 6 o'clock. It was the job of the older children to bring the younger ones, get them ready, and bring them to the daycare centre. The daycare centre was 2 shipping containers with a steel roof over the top. It was freezing. It was freezing. It was so cold that winter. The fog didn't lift for the whole 2 weeks we were there. And morning, Elle, and the fog didn't lift. And so it was so cold. Anyway, these kids would walk every day through the construction vehicles. There was no path, there was no road, there was no fence. These little children and their older brothers and sisters, who the oldest one would be about 12, because after that I think probably they can work, would bring them. And then there was just a piece of wood that was the gate, and you put the wood back. Because it was so cold, the older boys were sent out to get firewood. They just go and collect leftover firewood from the construction site, bring it back, light a fire in the middle of the daycare centre. All the children, the little tiny poppet ones, some of them just walking. I don't know how old they are, actually. They're so tiny in India, with their feet up against the flame. And I was working in a school at the time, and I remember when I got back and I was walking through the school and I looked at the softball in our kindergarten. Morning, Donna. I looked at the softball in the preschool and I just thought, wow, this is so mollycoddling, really. We're making it so you've got to be safe all the time. So I want to relate that. Morning, gorgeous Sandy. I want to relate that now to your plan B. Your plan B is that space of safety. It's the fear of stepping into your true purpose. Now, I mentioned this last week on the Facebook Live last week. I told the story about Dr. John Gray, who wrote The Men Are From Mars, Women for Venus, and it took him so long to actually release that book because he believed it was his life's work. So it was the fear around the criticism. And that's what happens to us. So when you say you want to achieve something, whether you are currently in a full-time position and you are working in a direct marketing. Yeah, exactly, Donna. That's exactly. Exactly. Unconscious plan Bs. That's exactly right. Oh, look at this. I got a new little thingy. What's happening? Oh, there we go. Oh, it's got a new thing. Wish they'd stop changing things. There's a new little thing on my thing. I have the opportunity to play. I believe this gives me an opportunity to use it. Yes, exactly right, Donna, exactly. But what the softball is, it's made from. So to finish with the story about John Gray. So he didn't release a book because it was too fearful. So if you're in a direct sales organization now, yes. I have a backup plan and a backup plan for the backup plan. Yes, exactly, Sandy. So if you have in that role, or you're currently in a job and you really want to do something different, but you're hesitating to jump in, it's about looking at what the softball is. Now, if you know what softball is made of, right? It's made of rubber, and sometimes it's recycled rubber, but it's rubber that's painted to look like something else. Now, doesn't that give you an analogy for what our backup plan is? It's actually, when I think about it, it's actually the way that we control our failure. We have a backup plan to control our failure. because failing publicly is painful. To fail privately is far easier. And as I mentioned before, to use the things like once I got a reel into it, I realized it wasn't for me. At my age, really, who can be bothered? I didn't want to risk my mortgage, whatever that is. Gives you an out. But the soft fall, the space in the middle, is designed to keep you safe. Do you know, it's when, say for instance, you're in a direct marketing company and you want to rank up to another level. And I'll say this because I've been working a lot with some leaders in those areas, and you want to rank up a level, and you're watching what other people do. You're watching them, you're watching the people you're upline. The problem with that, if you start following everything they do, unless you understand what their true purpose is and what your true purpose is, soul purpose, that you may be following what they're doing, but it's not implementing your own true purpose. Okay, so we talked about this last week. True purpose is the how. Okay, it's the thing that never changes. It's to teach, to inspire, to lead, to direct, to create. It's all those words. And unless that's woven into your own purpose, unless that's woven into your own goals, it always feels hard. It always feels hard. And when I was studying to be a counselor many years ago, and I did counseling for a number of years, I was always feeling exhausted after my counseling. And even when I introduced EFT into counseling, I still didn't get I was tired, a day of counseling and I'd be absolutely exhausted. And I couldn't figure it out until one day I recognized that's not my true purpose. My true purpose is not to counsel. My true purpose is not to help. That's not my true purpose. My true purpose is to teach, inspire, and to lead. That's my true purpose. So that's why coaching and doing what I'm doing with the Facebook Lives is actually my purpose. I still would be a good counselor. I was a good counselor, but just wasn't my truth of who I was. So that when you're trying to compare yourself to others, comparison creates confusion. When you're comparing yourself to others by trying to follow exactly what they do, I know there's steps to take, and that's fine, but it's about weaving your true purpose into that. So if you're a naturally gifted teacher, for instance, you'd be far better off taking on the teaching role in that business rather than a helping role. We worked on this last night with my husband because he's been in sales for 40 years, and we were going through this last night and something else that I'm writing. And his true purpose is to create. That's his true purpose. So in his role, has been in real estate for 40 years or something, and he's in commercial. So he loves the creation of the project. He loves the bringing the players together. He plays it out in his mind. Even though he's an excellent salesperson, it's to create. So he's got to bring that creativity into everything that he does in order for him to feel empowered. That's when he's in his genius zone. Michelangelo, for instance, painted the Sistine Chapel. He was an artist. He was a sculptor. He sculpted the David and Pieta. Beautiful, beautiful. Still brings people to tears when they see it. But he was also an architect, and he was also a poet. So you can see from there what his true purpose was. He was not to paint, nor was it to sculpt, nor was it to write. His true purpose was to create. So when you find that true purpose and you put that into what you're doing, your plan B will fall away. It just falls away. Let me explain to you what happens to it. So physically or neurologically, what happens to you when you let go of plan B is a thing called, and I've talked about this often on our Facebook Live shows. Just let me know if you guys are getting this. In fact, on the Facebook Live shows, talked about this on Facebook Live shows, is a thing called confirmation bias. Okay. When you make that decision I'm just going to go into this. I have no plan B anymore. I'm not going to have a plan B anymore. This is only a plan A. When you do that, neurologically, your brain rewires, goes looking for opportunities goes looking for them. Opportunities pop up for you all the time. You know that. With the analogy I use all the time is when you want a certain car and you go decide on the color and the make, and all of a sudden it's everywhere. Same thing. Exactly the same thing happens. What happens to you spiritually is you become more of you. So we talk about the law of attraction. So you become the person people are attracted to, because you're not playing the old game anymore. Faith, conviction, yes. You're not exactly. You have the conviction to make it happen. But the key is to understand what the softfall is. To understand it. It's the beliefs. It's the fear. It's the looking at the other people and saying, I know I could do that. I just can't get there. And it's in the softfall, in the middle, the space between saying what you want and believing what you can have. Right in there is the softfall. So when you're doing this, what is important is that you are uncovering the beliefs that are holding it back from the plan B. It's not about confidence. It's about clarity. Because when you create the clarity, the confidence will come. But you can't create the clarity if you're still holding on to the old story, that safety net. How many times are you told, when you're growing up, be careful, be safe? That just rings true every time you step out to do something. And women in leadership in particular, that happens if you're trying to create something, a new business, or you want to go up in a rank in your direct sales area. What happens is it becomes fearful, because you have to let go of the soft fall in order to do it. Now, if you're hanging on to those old stories about being safe, being careful, just watch where you go, don't risk anything, you never know what's going to happen, then your brain pulls you back into the soft fall. Just pulls you back. It's like, be safe. Be safe. And this, the media at the moment is full of this talk about the real estate downturn and, downturn in the economy. Well, we've been in real estate 40 years, and it happens. That's what goes on. It's just a cycle. That's all. And what happened is people bought into you got to buy real estate before you miss out. And that's what's happening. It's just an adjustment. So when you listen to that stuff, what happens is that fear arises about safety. So again, I've done a number of these this week. Gosh, we've had fun. I'm offering, if you are really ready, and I mean ready to do this in 2019, this is the stuff you have to clear. I've had some great sessions this week with fabulous women who are just doing amazing things. And for some reason, I can't put this in the group. Oh, wait, where is it? It's all funny today, and I don't know why it is. I'll pop it in the group later on. So if you click on that link, you can book in with me for a private session with me, 30 minutes, to see if and how I can help you, see if it's a fit. If it's not something you're not, that's fine. We can just have a chat quickly, but and come and spend a day with me. If it's something that you really want, if you're ready in 2019, get rid of that soft fall, get rid of those limiting beliefs, and something is holding you back from doing that, let's find what it is and clear it. It's just been a great week this week, talking to different people about what their plans are for 2019. Wow. Some amazing people are going to be doing some amazing things. Watch this space. I'm going to get some of them on actually next year to really share what they're doing, because that's what I love to do best of all. Is I love working with women to clear those limiting beliefs, that soft fall out of it. So when you say what you want and you believe you can get it, they're in alignment, absolutely in alignment. Because if not now, when, really? That's why a plan B is a luxury of the young. It is. I've got children similar to Anne Marie. I've got a daughter in dancing, and she needs a backup plan. She needs a backup plan, but she's 25, and that's important while she's figuring out who she is. But when you get to over 45 and over 50, what's the backup plan for? What are you waiting for? When I went through my own, call it Night of the Dark Soul 2 years ago, and I was ready to give it all up and go and work in a gift shop, live with my dad. Sounded like a great idea at the time until I actually thought, oh God, that would be, can you imagine could you imagine that? Just that, how it just will make you feel so, it was like this, I couldn't breathe. That was the feeling. So it's about who you are, if not now, when? Really? If not now, when? Come spend a day with me. We'll get that cleared, get that out of there. So you can really set those intentions for 2019, where it's really about now, gosh, we need good women. We need good, strong women. We need women leaders. It's the call is here. So it's the inner work that needs to be done to let go of the fear, because that fear of you stepping into that plan A fully, boots and all, 100%, is all it is. And that fear is just what's here. It's got nothing else. So if you're ready to do it, I'd love to work with you. And it's a way to kind of really step into that. So it really is the best thing you'll ever do. So glad you didn't give up. Thank you, Sandy. That's lovely. I'm glad I didn't give up too. Holy cow. When I think back, that was 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? No, actually, it was a year ago. Wait a minute. Where are we? Yeah, it was. It was a year ago. Sorry, because I was in Melbourne for Christmas. What that's happened since then. When I was actually doing a review of my year this year. It was really interesting. I've had over 1,000 media. Oh, thank you, Sally. I've had 1,000 media interviews since December last year. Isn't that incredible? 1,000, and new programs, and we've moved house, and I mean we've just had the most amazing year. Invest in you, absolutely, Sandy. It's the biggest, it's the greatest gift we give to ourselves, but to others, because you know what happens. I've noticed this year in particular, when I've really stepped into my A game this year, big time. I've just invested in a new, very expensive business thing, but I'm loving it. Oh, I'm loving it. It's just me. I found my tribe, and I'm so looking forward to it. Oh, thank you. All the things that I've manifested this year, when I made the decision to let go of plan B, doesn't mean it hasn't been a hard year. It doesn't mean I haven't worked hard. It doesn't mean I have had moments about, yes, I have. Thank goodness for tapping. I know what to do. But I know the answer now. I know the answer. That's the key, is when you know the answer, that's the difference. It really does make a huge difference. So if you are interested, and I've got a special on at the moment, so because I'm going to do a couple more days before we jet out to Vancouver on the 21st. So if you want to book in now, or if you want to book in and hold the 2018 price for this, book that 30-minute strategy session. Let me know what you want, if I can help you. I'm not going to force you. I don't sell you. I don't do that. If you were fit, you're fit. You're not. I hope that you'll get some clarity from the session anyway. So click on the link, and oh yes, and we all have days when we have to step back and get more clarity. Absolutely. There are some days when I think, really? Is this happening again? Oh, it's those times when you just got to have absolute faith in everything you're doing. And that's, that's the habits that you put in place, because it's only going to get you over the bumps. And it's the ability to rise quickly from the bumps that really set you past. So you don't waste time. So it's about now really deciding about, is this year 2019, and I've seen this a lot. People are talking about this a lot, that there's some real change. That you can feel it. It's kind of like 2018's kind of been, I don't know, a funny year as far as clarity and knowing what you want and all that stuff. but 2019 is the step up. And then I was thinking, gosh, that's the last year of a decade. Wow. You know, all that stuff. It's just amazing. I'm going to go 2020, wasn't it, song? In the year 25. I was 25, wasn't it? How old I am. All right, my lovelies, it is top of the hour again. Now, next week, a little bit of insight into next week, I'm going to be sharing with you my absolutely favorite thing to do for creating true clarity. Sandy, for creating true clarity for the following year. My absolute favorite thing, something I've been doing since 1997. All my clients do it. We just love this process. And second last year of the decade. I know, Anne-Marie. Gosh, you know, when people talk about the year 2000, I think they're only talking about just last year. It's like, oh my goodness. You know, I have a son turning 34 and a daughter turning 31, and my daughter just turned 25. Like, how did that happen? Here we are. But isn't it lucky that we don't age? Our children do. I think that's lovely. We'll just go backwards from here on in. All right, lovelies. I look forward to, if you are really interested, I'd love to have a chat with you and see how I can help you. And as I said, we've got that in for the last part of this year. Book it in now if you want to have it in January, you want to come back, or we can squish you in before we go away. And it's very, very powerful day. Very powerful day. We've just had such an amazing ahas this week on these intensive days. Just been brilliant. Yeah, that's right, Sandy. Okay, who remembers that before I go? I got it. Who remembers this? Stocking up for canned goods. Y2K, that's right. What was the best clarity tip? You mean for me? Or you want to know what's the best clarity tip? Sally, can you just pop that in? I know there's a bit of delay. Thank you, Karen. Thanks for being on. What was the best clarity tip? When I decided that I was going to step in to my true purpose. Oh, I'll tell you the story. If you're asking about me, when my clarity tip came, I often wish it was something far greater than it was, but it wasn't really. That your clients do. Oh, wait a minute. That all your clients do. Oh, that we're going to be talking about next week. That one. Yeah. We're creating a one-word theme. And we're going to do that next week. But I do it a little differently from everybody else. That's what makes it a little bit unique. So, and yes, Sandy Gurney, yes. We use tapping. But, you know, tapping's part of a package. So that'll be next week. I'll share with you how we do that and why it makes such a big, and I don't know if you can see my vision board behind me. You can see my word from this year. Just tap to help with clarity. Yes, absolutely, Sandy. Tap to help with clarity. My clarity moment, my huge clarity moment for me was when I remember one came up with my word last year, but when I realized what my true purpose was. Got it. Yeah. Yep. Love one word themes. Can't wait for that, Sally. Yeah, Donna, I love one word themes. I must admit, I'm not yet decided on mine. I'm not yet decided. I take a long time. I usually take about 4 weeks to decide before I do my vision board, before I do my goals. And I've got a couple they're not landing like some other years. They've landed. Last year's landed big time. I just knew what it was. But this year, so I'll take you through the process next week of how we do that process, and then and really the power of it and what happens when you do. So we're going to be doing all that next week. So have a wonderful week, everybody. As I said, if you want to book in for a private chat with me, see if and how I can help you, I would love to spend some time with you. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. I'm just making sure something's going on here. But no, I don't want you to do that. I want that there. was going to put the link back in. I'll put the link in afterwards. Oh, does it, Sandy? Oh, cool. Well, that's cool. Yeah. Usually comes after listening to one of your sessions. Ah, that's interesting. Oh, that's so cool. I'm going to okay. All right. Thanks, Elle. I'm using one for the past 3 weeks. Ah, that's interesting, Donna. We've run out of time, Donna, for tapping. It's 8 o'clock already. So do some tapping today on yourself. Okay, Elle, that'd be great. All right, I'm just trying to get up this. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Have a wonderful weekend. Woo, 2 weeks before Christmas. Oh, no, it's not. It's 3, isn't it? What is the 8? Yes. Venturing out. Lots to work on this week, Denise. Yep, fantastic. Fabulous. Yeah. Get that clarity. Look, find out where that fear is. What's the fear? What's the softball represent? So good. Oh, and one more thing before I go. The EFT for Leaders super special that finishes on the 15th is up on the 15th. Save an extra $100. Book and pay by the 15th. And I've also got I'll probably use links in the thing below because it's just being silly today. I can't get it to work. All right. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. I shall talk with you soon. Bye.